Good morning, Lisa and Julie.
Good
Hi.
morning.
Could you please introduce yourselves, your business, where you're located, what you guys do?
Yes, we are twin sisters, obviously, and we've been working or owning. Oh my God, can we start over? I'm nervous. Okay. Whew. Okay, so we're Lisa and Julie. We're a twin sister team. We own our photography business in Bay City, Michigan, and we've been working it together since, well, it was since probably 2012. But when we first started, we were mostly doing graphic design, which is kind of like, it's artistic field, so somewhat related, but we wanted to mostly do that and then just a little bit of photography. But as it kind of developed, we got asked more to do photography projects than graphic design projects. And we just learned that we liked that so much better because we got to work with families rather than working with big companies. And big companies can be intimidating. And we just felt like we didn't get that personal connection with them. And so we always kind of said that photography found us. And then even more specifically, we said newborn photography found us because we are the youngest in our family. We have like a few younger cousins, but not siblings, and nobody really like that we were super close to. No babies. Yeah, so we didn't really have much experience with children and especially with newborns, and so they kind of scared us. Like I think they kind of scare a lot of people when you don't have experience with a baby. It's like holding a baby, you think you're gonna break it, you know.
Yeah.
And so after we were asked a couple times to do newborn photo shoots, and of course we did them a little bit later, like more like 1 month or later, but that was how we got our feet wet with it. And we learned that we really liked it because you can control everything. And we love the outdoor family sessions too, and the candid nature of children in general. They're just fun and they don't have those inhibitions that like adults do. And so it's really easy to get their personalities to shine if you know how to play with them. And that's why the two of us seem to make a great team together, because one of us is always, we alternate who shoots and who plays with the kids. So one of us is always behind the camera shooting and the other one is always standing right behind each other, like, come give me a high five, race to the camera, you know, whatever we got to do, but we keep them playing. And that is key in getting those big smiles. But with a newborn session, it's so much more controlled because I don't know, every photographer is different, but we always like to plan our setups before the families arrive. And so we get their color schemes they want to use, if they have any themes, like, you know, if their nursery is decorated in any sort of like nautical theme or celestials, things like that. So we try to incorporate that so that it fits their vision. And so we have like our session.
Not to mention the controlled lighting,
yes,
temperature,
and not having to worry about weather. You know, that is huge when you're doing outdoor sessions. It's like tonight we have a senior session and it's probably going to rain, so we're going to have to reschedule it. But with newborns, it's like, yeah, you get to just come into our studio and make it a really cozy, comfortable place. It's our second home. And yeah, we just get to be in our element. We love the creative side of setting, like putting all the pieces together that work for one setup, you know. And then we also love the creative side of shooting it and editing it. And Julie is our baby wrapper, so I photograph all the newborns and she wraps all the babies. And so we really make a great team in that aspect too, because it's hard to settle a baby. A lot of people know that. It's especially when you're trying to pose them in really specific poses. The one thing that we like always hear from almost like all of our clients,
no matter what session,
wow, you guys are so patient. But it's because we really just have to work together to get those babies to calm down. You have to do the humming, the shushing, the warmth, the rocking, you know, all of it.
And when you've got an older sibling too, getting them, because a lot of times older siblings are very apprehensive about having a new baby in the family, so being patient with them. And safety is another huge thing that comes into it when we're doing newborns together with the two of us, because I know other photographers will have parents help out and spot, or they'll have an assistant come in, but like we work around each other like we're one person with multiple arms. That's crazy.
It is. It's funny to see.
And there are times when with like a 2-year-old sibling where I won't even take my hands off of the newborn, but I'll just shift my hands so we can edit me out later. And same with the poser, I'm right there, you know, my hands are right out of view or they're in view, but easy enough to be edited out. And that's so important for newborn photography is that safety, but also the fun.
When you guys got into photography, did like one of you decide to, okay, I'm gonna learn, you know, kind of the basics of photography, and the other person was kind of planning on assisting, or did you guys just both dive into it at the same time?
Well, Lisa actually studied photography in college, and I did not. Both of our degrees are actually in writing, and then her minor is in photography, and mine is in Spanish. So completely unrelated. And I wish we had studied business, honestly. But so when we started, Lisa was the primary shooter, and I was the assistant. But she kind of, I learned from her and workshops and things. And so now we just like alternate who shoots and who does, except for newborns. I always do the posing of the newborns and she always shoots them because when we started, that was what we were most comfortable in.
And I think that was also why we really gravitated toward newborn. Another reason, aside from like being able to control and just really enjoying it, is that it gave us each like a really separate but crucial role in the process. You know, you need a photographer, but you also need someone to wrap the babies. And I know like a lot of times the photographer will also be the wrapper, but it's nice to have two sets of hands because babies can sometimes just need that extra comfort to settle down. And like we talked about earlier, just to
know how to spot for safety.
People are often looking for newborn or family photographers. And do you guys have any kind of tried and true advice that you give to people who are on the hunt so they can find someone who's perfect for them?
I think the most important thing is to find someone whose style that you really relate to and really like. I think that like, you know, we haven't had any bad experiences with this, but we're in a lot of photography groups and I see people sometimes will post that they've done a session for someone and now they hate their result because the editing is too dark or too moody or too light and airy or whatever it is. And it's like, well, it's perfectly in line with your gallery or their portfolio. So it's like, you really just didn't do your homework first. There are so many different kinds of photographers and so many styles out there that I think is first and foremost. You have to make sure you like the style and that you check more than like just one post or whatever, like follow, like look at their whole Facebook feed and look at their website, reviews. And then another, like almost just as important is you need to like vibe with your photographer. I feel like in order to get true, genuine photos that look like yourself and represent your family well, you have to be able to relax and be comfortable. You have to be genuine. And so that's why like we are always just trying to be like, we always tell people that we're kids at heart because we just get out there and we play just like their kids do. And then if you're doing a newborn session, then safety is the number one thing to look for there when you're shopping around. And that I think is another thing why the two of us are so we work so well together is just because like we've already talked about, like just being able to spot the baby and things like that. You know that your baby is never going to be unsafe.
Again, with reviews, read those reviews, make sure like, you know, that people are saying, you know, that they had a good, comfortable experience and the photographer treated their baby with care and, you know, patience. And,
Well, okay. Well, tell people where they can find you guys online.
We are on Facebook under Luce Photography. We're also on Instagram under lucephotography.julielisa. Or is it Lisa Julie? Lisa Julie. Sorry, I said that wrong. lucephotography.lisajulie. And then we also have a website, lucephotography.studio.
We can be reached via email at hello@lucephotography.studio.
Yes.
And or Facebook message.
Or Instagram message.